Hi everyone. So, my name is Mathilde, and this is gonna be my first video on YouTube, where, well, I've been recording, for about a month, some like content just intuitively, because I've had the desire and I guess the itch to kind of document this journey of mine of a goal I set out myself to do. Um, so, just to give you a bit of background information, um, in the beginning of, so I was a mom. I gave birth to my son in end of September, 2023. So around a year, 13 months ago. And I've always been very sporty all throughout my life, competing at a higher level, volleyball, horseback riding. I've done lots of other sports as well, competing um, as I was growing up, and uh, and then obviously everything kind of changes once you are pregnant, and once you give birth especially, things change a lot. Your body, like structure, your body, the hormonal side of it, everything kind of changes, and the time that you used to have you no longer have, and you kind of have to adapt to this whole new reality. And so that has been kind of my biggest challenge and my biggest focus all throughout this year. But I've had incredible support, and I've managed to really maintain my care for my physical and mental health, with the help that I have around me. And also, I've gone running with my son on the stroller. I try to do, the best that I can with what I have. And yeah, in June 2024, this year, a few months ago, I set out to try my first triathlon. So I got myself a coach, which is my husband's coach. Her name is Vanessa. She's amazing. Like, honestly, I couldn't have asked for a better coach. She's really, really she knows what she's doing, and she really knows how to personalize and adjust the training to the person she has in front of her. Um, and yeah, so that was a very cool experience. Um, and I did my first triathlon, a sprint distance, in September. Let me be honest. I love working out. I struggle with motivation. I think like most of us. But for example, I have my husband next to me who's a pro athlete, and I feel like he doesn't struggle with motivation, but he does tell me he does struggle with motivation. But when you're comparing yourself on a daily basis to someone who literally hops out of bed, every day to go work out and has like this incredible mindset, it kind of feels like you don't. Um, but I've always had this struggle with the motivation to work out, especially in the morning. I'm more of a call me for a lunch workout and I'm in, not so much for a 7 a.m. workout. Anyway, so this happened in September. I did my first triathlon. I did not like biking. I've never really enjoyed biking much when I was younger either. And so and especially on a road bike where you're going faster, you're on the street with cars. I was not a fan of that. And so when I was training for the triathlon, I was thinking, well, after this, I'm probably going to be done. I'm probably not going to keep going at this. I also love kickboxing. I love surfing, and and yoga, and I feel like I don't really have time for that when I'm training for a triathlon. So I was kind of considering continuing. Then once I did the triathlon, it was mind blowing. I was just shocked. I had one of the best times of my life, honestly. doing it. I did mine in São Martinho do Porto, and it was amazing. I was like, my mind was like blown away. And so obviously I said, yeah, let's not sell anything, and let's keep going. I want to improve my times for the next one, because I went really, really chill for the first one. I was just like, yeah, I just want to see how it is and finish. And yeah, so I was like, oh my God, next one, I'm going all in. And so I'm excited for my next one. Um, yeah, and then suddenly I start sharing, my excitement of triathlon with other women, my friends. Actually, even women I don't really know very well, but um, but yeah, I'm just sharing my enthusiasm, and suddenly they're all like eager and interested in doing it as well. So that was very, very interesting to see. And suddenly I just decided to create a group on WhatsApp, because that's something I've shared about like over the years, how I really struggle to find company. I've always been the sporty one, and the one that would choose sports or competitions or things or training, for a competition above going out, going to parties. So I always had this kind of priority, and no one really around me had this kind of lifestyle, I guess. And so that was always a bit of a struggle for me. Not really a struggle. I kind of grew up like this, so I enjoyed and I knew, but I always wished I had more company and I had people doing the same thing as me. And now I'm like walking into this whole new era of, at least in Lisbon, it's only really starting now. And like in the last few years, like running clubs, and then every morning, like Saturday morning, you go out and the streets are packed with running groups, with cycling groups. There's trail groups now here also, uh, or maybe I'm just like discovering it all now. But I feel like I was always searching for, a surf group, uh, people to go on races with. Like I did my half marathon, like I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago, my first half marathon with my best friend, who's one of my best friend, who's also a very sporty person. And I remember people like looking like, ugh, boring. Like, why are you doing that? But yeah, going to the point, I'm super excited that things are just kind of flowing really well, and people are really like, I see so much enthusiasm and interest in women now, and also not necessarily young women. Like suddenly in the group, we were 2 people, and now we're 22. We're 22 women, like from 30 years old to 50 years old. And for me, that's like insane. Like it even gets me a bit emotional, especially after like being a mom, and seeing, ooh, I was not expecting this. What the hell? Wow. Like it gets me emotional because I feel like women usually are either they force themselves, or society, like with pressure, kind of forces them to step back a little bit, like in all areas, either professionally or sports wise. It's like the other person, the man or the male reference in the house, is the one that has more priority in all these areas. And kind of the way, being a mom kind of just forces you to sit back and take care of this little human being that needs you. And so I'm loving to see this shift in society and mindset, that women also want to claim their rights and their place into prioritizing their well-being, and their ambitions on maybe completing a triathlon, maybe trying something new, doing a half Ironman or a full Ironman, all of this in my case, I only want to do the half because it's such a commitment, and I'm not ready for that. And I don't even know if I'm interested in ever doing a full. I wasn't even interested in doing a half Ironman until the girls in the group were like, "Let's go, let's do it," and I'm like, "Okay." I was just hoping to do the triathlons, the smaller distance, and now suddenly we're gonna sign up for the half in Cascais in October. So we have currently 11 months to go on this trip. And as things kind of were progressing, I'm very creative and I get really like going with ideas. And I love to see that we're inspiring women and even little girls, like I ride my bike down the street or I go running and I pass little girls with their moms or their dads, and they just like look up at me and wonder like, wow, And so this is what really motivates me. This is what really moves me. And that's the kind of inspiration or the kind of thing I want to document for other women, as in the same way I have references growing up of women that I admire, either in surfing, tennis, whatever. These great athletes. So yeah, I mean, I'm not saying I'm going to be a great athlete, but that's also the point. Like, you don't have to be amazing. You don't have to be the best to inspire and to motivate people to lead a healthier lifestyle and to go after their goals and dreams. So I think, each person really has their part, even if it's like a tiny little thing, and even if you just go walking, every day, or you go walking, yeah. Anyway, so I'm getting super excited about this project, and so I'm starting to structure it a little bit more, and we want to, document this with a videographer and everything. So we're now in the process of looking for sponsors, eventually getting a club set up, a triathlon club for us to join and really work on the training process and how we're going to build the volume up and prepare for this half Ironman. And sorry, it's so sunny. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoy. I'm going to try and make this the most interesting as possible and not waste your time, because nobody has time, we know. Let me know in the comments eventually what you would like to see. If you also want company for training, we have a lot of cool ideas coming. So yeah, thank you so much.